Welcome everybody to Into the Score. My name is Avishai Darash. I'm your host for this podcast. And Into the Score, I'm hosting an array of very interesting people from the fields of arts, culture, music, entrepreneurship, day-to-day politics, and everything in between. And today I have with me the lovely Liva Dumpe.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I was a bit running here on the bike speeding. It said 15 minutes and I left 15 minutes. But now I'm here and...
Yeah, we were like, man, I can't believe she's not coming on time. We were like, all like brooding here, sitting like, being so angry.
Exactly. Let's see how it goes.
That's fine. Liva was just saying that if we're going to edit or cut some stuff, right?
Yeah.
Just saying it. So it's like, no.
If I mention some name or something and then I think this was not allowed or something.
We highlight it.
Or you put the sound. Beep.
Exactly, yeah. We're gonna do that. And we're going to go the extra mile to censor it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Liva, there's like, it's a free form conversation. We just talk. However, there's like a common thread that is happening in this podcast where I always ask, like, what is the thing that brought you to Amsterdam? Because you're not from here. Mm-hmm. And it's always interesting to know why people ended up here.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Latvia, where you played also this summer. We have this high school where basically before going to university, we have a music high school, 4 years, and it's also specifically focused on jazz. So after that, you either stay in Latvia or you go abroad, and most of the teachers in this high school, they also teach in the university, in the academy. So then for most of the people, it feels like, okay, natural move is to move somewhere abroad so you can have new teachers to study from. So that I knew from the beginning that I will try to get in some school in Europe. My first dream was to shoot for the stars and go to America. But then I realized that it was a bit tough with the tuition and everything. So my second choice, let's say, was Amsterdam, because I heard also a lot of friends from Latvia used to study here. And I heard many different opinions about this place. Like people said that, okay, the school is very traditional, but the scene is super focused on free, improvised music, and there's so many things happening. Like I heard that there's many different genres, many different preferences, what people do. So at that time, I also didn't have like a clear idea. Okay, I really want to only sing traditional. I really want to write pop music. So I thought, okay, let's go to a place where I can explore all of this.
Yeah. Just saying, when you say traditional, you mean traditional jazz, right? Okay, because it's important to make that clear, because traditional for so many people, it's like, what is traditional?
Traditional jazz.
Like more the bebop, like really like the institutionalized, let's say, of, this is how it is, like, 40s, 50s, hard bop, all that stuff. Yeah. And was it, because it's so, it's such a melting pot, Amsterdam, in that sense. You have so much of that. And did you feel that you had to be swayed into like different styles in the beginning, or was it like immediately like, hey, this is actually what I want to do?
Well, I felt the swaying, let's say, because in the school also there's like a specific program what they want you to follow, and also the vocal department, they have focus points what they want you to do, especially in the first years. Yeah. So I felt like my study years were really focused.
Just 1 second.
So
I'm like annoyed by this.
Hello.
Now it's good.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry, right. Your focus studies.
Good. I saw you looking, and then I thought, where
that's it. It's over.
It?
No.
Okay. Okay. So then, so I feel like in the school, in the first years, from the lessons, what I was doing, I was focused on swing, tradition, harmony, the basics. And then, but everything around that, like I was going to sessions in the Dumpe, like also hanging out with people who were more into like free scene in Amsterdam. And I just, kind of started to, I wouldn't say that I gravitated towards something, but somehow I started to hang with people that I felt like, okay, maybe this is kind of the music I like, and the projects that I also started to play in, they matched with, okay, I like this.
So you had this opportunity basically to have these two polarities on the spectrum. Basically, this like traditional, we have rules, this has to happen, we're doing this way, this is correct, this is wrong, this, and then the ruimte, which is like whatever, do whatever you want. And did you feel any conflict between the two, like in terms of like that it was pulling you? Like I said, sway, but in the sense of, there is a curriculum from the school that needs to happen, and there is this thing that you're also interested in. But there's also so much time in the day that you can invest in something.
Well, I felt that. Let me think about it. That maybe like in the conservatory they expect you to a bit follow the guidelines, let's say.
Right.
So I maybe like the first years I allowed myself to follow those guidelines and take what I'm offered. But then at one point I also like started to combine those things, and I didn't feel a pressure that they would say like, okay, this is not allowed or something, or like we don't want to hear something that doesn't match with their idea. So I didn't feel much of a conflict, to be honest. It was kind of natural mix. Yeah.
So it was enriching actually of the two. That's awesome.
Definitely.
And was it like something, because it's a very strong bubble, the conservatory. It's like I remember it being as like there is no other thing than the school, And then it's like you go out, you're like, well, you don't know what 251 is. Bad. Was it for you like a transition to get out of that bubble? Like was it a natural thing that you just felt like I'm getting out of it?
I think the transition period definitely was the COVID times, and also like during the COVID also basically I went on my fourth year of bachelor, because I did both bachelor and master. On my fourth year I went to exchange in Los Angeles, and then after 2 months COVID hit.
Oh my God, and you were like in LA.
Yeah, and then dreams destroyed, life over, like, Anyway, but that's not the worst that happened in life. But then after that I extended my bachelor, and somehow during that time I started to do a performance with mime actors from like a department of the
cool.
ATD. Amsterdam Theater and
ADD?
ADHD. From the ADHD school.
Department of ADD. Keep us out. No, don't keep us out. Here. Hey, hello.
So ATD. Amsterdam Theater and Dance Academy. Academy of Theater and Dance.
In Jodenbreestraat, there, right?
That's the one that has soup place in front of it. That one?
Jodenbreestraat.
Yeah. So I kind of that 5th year, I was a lot there. And then I started to feel like I'm a little bit out of the conservatory. Also, I didn't have so many lessons anymore. And then when I started to do my master, then it was also very different, like new people. So half of the people that I was in the bachelor, they left, went back to their home countries or started to do something else. So that also started to feel, okay, this is already much more different. So I think throughout the last 2 years, I slowly started to feel, okay, I am I'm still very much involved in the conservatory life, but I also started to a bit feel like, okay, real life starting to...
What is the conservatory life actually? How would you actually tell about it? What is it?
I mean, you go there, you study every day. You have many lessons.
To you, it sounds. I mean, the reason I'm asking you because to you it sounds like trivial. I did this and that.
Yeah.
A lot of people that don't know what it is, they think, what are you actually doing in a conservatory, especially also conservatory from Amsterdam? Like, what was the experience there day to day for you?
Yeah, like you really feel like you're in a nice bubble because you enter the main hall and all the people are sitting in the main hall. First of all, like it's kind of a boiling pot where you enter, and then you can decide if you want to hang or you run up to the 8th floor and you practice. And then you have lessons every day covering all the music important things. And then like the cool thing is that you're also pushed to go out, because after every lesson that's like finishes in the evening, people are like, oh, okay, there's a session, there's a concert there. So then you automatically end up hanging all the time and hearing a lot of music and listening a lot of music. So I like that when I was there.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I feel that with conservatory, it's not, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you had also similar experiences, that it's not necessarily about, the lessons, of course, the information that you're getting and the format and all that stuff. It's really about the community also, that you meet similar, like-minded people that want a similar thing than what you want. Of course, no one wants exactly what you want, but they want like it's similar paths. And that enriches that level of let's say involvement in the craft that you're doing, right? Because I remember, I was there like 14 years ago, and I remember what we did was we would be like practicing the whole day and then like hanging out like in the canteen and all that stuff, and then afterwards either going to a session or going to someone's apartment and just listening to music until late in the night, and then doing that again and again and again. A lot of weed, don't recommend. I don't remember half of what happened there, but there was a lot of good music.
Good. Good old days.
The old days. And what? How does it look now for you? Like in the sense of you got out of this. When did you graduate?
I graduated 1 year ago. So last year summer.
So how is that now? Like the thing of being working musician, getting out of that thing. There is no bubble anymore. Of course, I assume that it was like a process also to get out of it, but how is it? What is the experience now for you? Day to day?
Yeah. Right when I graduated in like autumn, after I graduated, I had a busy schedule. Like I had concerts coming up, things happening, very nice. I didn't feel any difference. Like I was still in the same, like around the same people. And then I think like this year, January, silent period. And then I started to think, okay, what do I do now? I also don't have the push. Like if I don't push myself to go out, go to concerts, it won't happen. And then I felt, like I started to feel like drifting away. Also there you see that, okay, new students come, the scene is changing, and then the feeling of, okay, do I want to drift away? Maybe I don't want to drift away, so then I have to go to all the sessions and say, hello, I am here. So I'm kind of still like now trying to understand where I want to stand, and like if I'm fine with that I'm drifting a bit away from the old bubble. But I'm trying to also push myself to go, like now I have this rule, 2 concerts per week.
2 concerts per week?
Yeah, I try to 2 concerts per week.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, and also just to like, it's nice to listen music at home, but also it's nice to meet real people.
Yeah.
And then to hear live music, and sometimes like I can go into like, I'm very comfortable also at chilling at home and just listening to music at home, but it can go also too far. Like I need to push myself.
Too much of a good thing. Then you're like isolated. Basically.
Exactly.
That's something also that I'm hearing from a lot of people, and I experience that also myself. Is that we have this like a little bit of let's say a place where we are creating in, where we're actually seeking. It sounds dramatic, but we're seeking refuge in that sense. Like when we're working on new music, or we're practicing, or we're listening to new music, and it's a very nice feeling. But then it could also get like saturated if we don't see people and fill in that box, with more inspiration. And when you tell that thing of like you're going out and you have a rule of 2 concerts a week, is it also connected to what you said just now with like wanting to stay relevant in the scene also? How would you do that in that sense?
Yeah, it's more not stay relevant to the scene, but just that people know that I exist in this. No, that like I want to be part of the social bubble. Like I want to see what's happening, and I want to meet new people. It's more about that. I don't think that if I go to a concert and I listen to a concert, I make a point that hey, I'm a great musician. Like I think that maybe
look how I listen to your concert.
Yeah. So that's I don't feel it like that. I feel it more like, okay, I want to be socially active and just meet new people. And then like, yeah, I don't really think like further than that. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought about how to stay relevant musically to the new people.
Just gave you a seed. Let it grow. How do I stay relevant?
Yeah, exactly. Getting old.
Getting old. How old are you?
No, I'm 28.
28. Look at getting. Joao is like turning off the camera. Exactly.
No, I just watched this movie.
Silence of the Lamb?
No, some with the what was the name? Not Injection, but about like the girl who yeah, the substance.
Which one?
The Substance.
Substance? No, I didn't see
and it's about like a lady who gets fired because she doesn't look young enough anymore to be on a TV.
Oh.
It's quite intense movie, but that like made me think also maybe that's not what I wanted to people to think after the movie, to actually think, okay, I'm also getting old, I need substance. But I think it's the opposite what they want to get.
So like the movie was about the fact that she didn't have, like, she's an actress, she's trying to get roles and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, youth is gone.
Yes.
And she needs to actually have some substance.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that, because I'm not sure it's about substance. I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but what we're talking about right now. I mean, I will tell you about the movie that I haven't seen. No, but, but no, the thing is, it's more about what is your unique selling point, and what is the thing that you can do or offer that makes you unique in comparison to the market. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like in the sense of, I see that quite often. People starting their careers and they're doing stuff and this and that, and then they take the model of someone else and they try to copy it, and then you're just becoming a carbon copy of someone that is already doing it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's like, if you also have this like thoughts of like, because you're a composer, you're very versatile, you do a lot of stuff, you're an entrepreneur also, you create your stuff. You don't just sit and wait at the phone for people to call you for Not that anything is wrong with that.
Also, I sit and wait sometimes.
Not only. I said not only.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you also create your own stuff. You're looking to make your own voice, to put your own voice in the scene, or your own voice of who is Līva, right? So what is the thing that makes you unique in comparison to the rest of, let's say, other singers, creators, female colleagues? What is the thing that makes you unique?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back now to one point that you said, like that you find somebody you really adore, a musician, and that you want to copy that and make something similar to that. I never had like one musician that I love, like everything about them. Like I never had like, okay, I like the sound of their voice. I like the music they write. I like whatever, how they improvise. I never had like a full package in one person that I adore musically.
Okay. Interesting.
So I think that kind of, maybe even if I have copied people, then I copied like one element of them. Like that, I think that like I don't copy everything that they have. Maybe then it doesn't come out that I'm a copy. So I think that maybe like that's one thing I hope that why I maybe don't sound like somebody that I really like musically. And I think also what differentiates me, which of course all the people have, that we have different interests, and this also the thing that I like. My guilty pleasure is early 2000s pop music. So
it's good music, yo.
Yeah. What can you do about
Backstreet Boys?
No, Backstreet Boys.
Oh, sorry, no Backstreet Boys.
No, I know Backstreet Boys, but that's not my jam. That was more my sister's jam.
All right, I'm older than you. Yeah, that's true.
But then,
like 10 years older.
Then like more like early Beyonce.
Yeah, right. Destiny's Child.
Yes.
Like that kind of stuff. That's really good. That's really good stuff.
So I think that I'm trying to. I have this guilty pleasure somewhere deep inside me, ingrained, and then that I like also to explore and different sounds with my voice, but at the same time, I like also to just sing and write also songs with melody,
right?
And that casual listener's ear can catch. So I think maybe the combination of kind of these elements, that I like also experimental things,
right,
but I like also simple, catchy things. I think that makes a kind of a blend that maybe doesn't, that all the people don't have the same blend of things. Yeah.
What is the role of the audience when you do your work? How do you integrate your audience in your thoughts when you compose something, or where do it sits, the audience?
Usually I don't think about it while I'm writing music, or when I'm like creating music in the first steps. Maybe once it's done, and then I think of like the concert program, what comes after what. Then I consider audience, definitely, like what I want them to also get out of it, what kind of feeling I want to create.
Right.
So, but it doesn't come sooner than when all the musical material is done. Now I'm generating thoughts about a new program, and I'm thinking, like in my family, my sister, and also my mother, my father, we've been into finding out the roots of our family, like making like a kind of family tree, and which person lived, and what kind of, like, basically in old articles and archives. In old archives you can find different kinds of information if you just write the surname. So we've been researching a little bit this thing, and then I somehow realized, okay, I want to include this in my music. I want to build up characters from this family tree, which I think, okay, for me it's super interesting. I find out, oh, my grandpa used to go to a bar here and something. Like, for me it's interesting. And then I think, okay, like, why should people in Amsterdam know that my grandpa was doing something like that? So then I think about it for a moment, that maybe it's not, it's important for me to know these kinds of details, and to know, like, what I write the music about, that I have a personal story to it, but not necessarily that audience has to know all these details, all these little details. They have to get I think they have to get like a general feeling and inspiration for them to go into certain thoughts, but they don't need to know that it's about this specific thing.
Because we're working with metaphors. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Music is an expression of emotional metaphors in that sense. I mean, it's, going to get some messages saying, what are you to say that music is? No. I'm just saying it's not black and white. But the reason I'm saying it is because if there's something that I appreciate also in art, is that it makes me like look beyond what is being presented to me. You know what I mean? You could go, let's say, to a stage, just saying, and be like, now I'm going to play the song for my grandfather. And then you put like a picture of your grandfather in the back, and you give everybody like Latvian sweets, let's say, or the beer that he drank. The beer that he drank in the bar that you went to, and you make it very literal. Everything is literal to them. And then they become a guest of your experience. But when it stays in the metaphor, in my opinion, when it stays in the metaphor, you become a guest in their experience. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They project, they hear something that touches them, and they fill in the blanks with their own experience in that sense. And you become not necessarily only you're the guest in their experience, you're the catalyst in their experience. And that's why I always say, like, it's really important to just, even if you're not a professional artist, or it doesn't matter, like, to create these type of metaphors, to create these type of abstract concepts, to anyone. I'm a big advocate of, like, compose, draw, dance, whatever it is. Because this acidic, like, blah, 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 that we're doing now here, but it's like, this, like, talking, at some point, it gets there to actually, it diminishes from the experience of what it is, because words are very limited, you know? I've been using the same words today millions of times, like, you know, it's the third one today, so I was like, I'll go into the sky, you know, but every time the experience is different, so how can I quantify it, you know? So I wonder if you also bring that into your work, if you think in that way.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to spoil too much. And also, if people come up to me after the concert, or we talk afterwards, it's more fun for me to hear what people felt, what they thought this means. Is this about this? Was this reminded me this? It's way more interesting and satisfying for me to hear, it's nice that this made you feel this.
Exactly.
So yeah, I definitely don't want to put it on a silver platter. All the meaning of,
And is it
everything.
something that you see that common thread also in art that you like to consume yourself as a consumer, or?
Yes, and then I like that it's not presented to me in a very straightforward way, and then I like to dig myself up and try to find, okay, what it was really about. Like, also, like, jazz standards, like, sometimes you have the weird title of, I don't know. Like, I discovered Stomping at Savoy. I didn't know that it was like a ballroom. in New York. Anyway, like that you can find the meaning about it, but then there are like crazy titles that...
Like Dewey Square of Bird, which is just a square that everybody went to get heroin in.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't know. Then I would search, okay, where is the square? Like, who went there? Who did he meet? Like, I like to go dive into it in myself.
Were you always like this? Were you always like researching, like nerding out on stuff?
Maybe yes. Maybe yes. Yeah. Yeah, like I'm into let's say, certain historical personalities to find out like who met who, why, and how they influenced their art, because this guy met this and then they were living together, and then during the time there was this. Yeah, I like to find that kind of stuff.
Interesting, because it really tells you much more. Then the art is different, right? You perceive it differently, I assume, if you know more about the person, what they went through and how they went through. I mean, that's, for instance, it's just my little 2 cents on it. Like, I have an personal, it's not personal, it's just a thing, an issue with prodigy kids that are like, they can play all the pieces and they're amazing, but it's like you're 10.
Yeah.
It's like you had a teacher that told you need to do this faster, you need to do this slower, you need to do this. The emotional depth is not there. And that's why, like, funny enough, for instance, Goldberg Variations of Glenn Gould, he did 2. He did one when he was, I think, 23 or 24. Correct me, please. And he did one just before he died, 51. And it's 2 different recordings.
Wow.
When he was like in his 20s, it was just like, look at me. I'm going to show you what I can do and play this thing like no one plays it. And then 51 was like, I am resting into this career that I had already. And I'm showing you like actually what I feel into it. He had a really tough life also, very lonely, like, not a thing that you don't want for yourself, at least not for me. And I wonder, like, when did you realize that this is what you want to do, music? Like, you're going to sacrifice hours of studying, you're going to sacrifice leaving your family, you're going to sacrifice relationships, you're going to sacrifice comfort, all that stuff to know that this is the thing that you need to do now.
Yeah. I always wanted to sing. Like, when I was little, I knew, okay, I want to be a singer. And then somehow I slowly shifted more into also writing music, also being more musician, learning instruments. I used to study piano first before I started to sing.
You come from a musical family?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So it was kind of... And my family, they were not like pushing me, you have to be a musician. They were actually pushing me that maybe you don't have to be a musician because it's tough life. But then they like...
Then you really want it.
Yeah, and then they are taking away the instruments. No, you cannot play.
Here's some tax returns.
Yeah, exactly.
The bar exam, become a lawyer, you're like 3 years old. What?
Yeah. No, but they really like, they said, okay, as a musician, it's more tough, the life, but then they understood, okay, I'm into it. There's nothing to do. She's just gonna do it. And then it kind of, I never really questioned it. I think I questioned it maybe when I came to Amsterdam first year, and because in Latvia, like I was studying in this high school, and I started to have already concerts with like big bands. I did competition, like it felt like, okay, I'm starting to perform. Everything's nice. I played already with nice people, and then I came to Amsterdam. It's like, I don't know anybody. Nobody knows me. I don't have any concert. I don't sing anywhere. I don't know who to play with. And then I thought, okay, wait a minute. I have to go back to Latvia because I'm never gonna get any gig here.
Wow. So your self-esteem and identity is connected to that success.
Yes.
That affluent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So then when I arrived to Amsterdam, then I started to question myself. Like, I didn't expect that, there are so many great musicians here, and I wasn't prepared that it will take time for me to get to know this place. And
How old were you? 20.
20.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of shock for me. So I remember now that was a little point that I questioned, okay, like what do I do and why it's not happening yet here. And then maybe also now has been a bit of period that I question myself. Like, I know that I want to be a musician, like, but I'm thinking, okay, what do I do around it? Because it's like, it's of course difficult to survive only having gigs. So I've been thinking a little bit about how I can expand my being a musician. That okay, I can teach, I can make a podcast.
Hey. It's like Joao is calling me next week. Hey, do you want to be on a podcast of Līva? I'm like, what?
And we film it here.
Exactly.
We change the different plans.
No, it's exactly the same. I need to bring the... We don't change anything. That's the funny part also.
We change the spots.
Not even. It's like the most lazy, like... No, I'm kidding, yeah.
But so I've been kind of like, I still like, I don't question if I want to be a musician, but I question a bit how to do it, how to maintain it.
That's very healthy, actually. It's very healthy because I think, first of all, I think this year has been absolutely madness for a lot of people. I mean, we talked about even in Latvia, I think. So many people that we know, so many people that we know maybe mutually or know of, has been going through crazy like transformations this year of really questioning a lot of stuff of, am I doing the right thing? How am I doing it? And this and that. I think personally it's really good to have it. I mean, it keeps your... It's like it keeps you on your toes, of like, oh, wait a second, I'm not completely comfortable. It kind of makes me think, I wonder if it's... I mean... It's like, when it's very different. When astronauts, they go up to space, the one thing that first happens to them, because they don't have this constant pressure on their bones, they don't have gravity, that like the struggle actually is they lose bone mass. Wow. They actually lose their body shrivels. So I feel like we need to have, like, our bodies are designed to have some type of friction, because when we are too like floaty and comfortable, it starts. And is that the thing that you experience, or was it like all of a sudden being confronted with, is it really what I want to do? Is it how I want to do it? Or
nowadays I feel more it's like that I'm not like I'm trying to, I feel positively challenged. Let's say. I remember now there's this what was the name of the guy? But basically this flow state. Have you heard about it?
Flow state. Just one second. Jean, do we have a tissue for me maybe? The flow state.
Yeah, there's a flow state that basically, if you are too much in comfort, let's say I have to now run 10 meters. That's too easy for me. And I don't feel challenged. I feel bored. If I have to run now
20 kilometers non-stop.
I'm challenged and it's difficult and I don't feel joy in it and it's too out of comfort. So the middle...
You're talking about the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Actually, the sweet spot. It's funny, I was just having this conversation with a student.
Really?
Just about that, yeah. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so the sweet spot... So now I'm somewhere not in the sweet spot, more into the discomfort.
So you're more into the discomfort.
Yeah, but I'm not very far in the discomfort. I'm somewhere more in the flow, closer to the flow. But
what is the discomfort? Like, just, you know?
Yeah, discomfort is just...
for you, I mean.
Yeah, it's just not knowing what's gonna happen. Like not having yet a clear idea. Like very technically that I'm trying to get concerts for summer, writing emails, you don't know. I'm kind of writing music, but not really yet finishing up anything. So it's kind of, I don't know if it's gonna go good or bad, if it's gonna happen. So yeah.
What's the worst case scenario?
No gig, everybody from the band quits.
Yeah.
And don't write any music that I like. Don't like anything that I wrote. Yes.
What's the best case scenario?
A lot of concerts. Everybody wants to play in the band. And I love the music.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but then always it's something somewhere. Never gonna be the ideal
scenario. It's never the ideal. Because we are, you know, I feel like the reason that we are where we are as a species is because there is like a basic dissatisfaction that needs to happen there for us to improve what we want to. Yeah. You know, I even think about this podcast, man. I started with iPhones. Nice. And it looked like really like I was some terror cell, you know, like doing propaganda videos. Exactly.
Propaganda, playing music.
Yeah.
Be a musician.
Exactly. and then it kind of, I was like, man, this has to change and this, and then we contacted each other and look, you know, and yeah, but I'm saying like it's, it makes me think of, you know, when I hear like worst case scenario is, you know, no gigs, the band quits, no music is being written. And then I ask myself, because we all have this, you know, no gigs, no money, I have to sell my house, you know. Yeah. And then I'm like, what is the action that I need to take to make sure that I go towards that ideal situation? And if I take that action, it's because my power is so limited, you know, but let's say sending that email, going to a network meeting, going to this, talking to people, filming it, bringing out the content. Actually, we have quite a lot of like tools in our hands to make it happen. Then it's not in my hands anymore. Yeah. Because I did everything I could do. And I can say, like, for me, when I left the orchestra, I was like, oh my God, man, I gotta have tours and I'm ready. And nothing came. And I was like, oh my God, no one wants to hear what I want to. Like, I was tripping about it. I was just like, I'm sending emails. I'm like, dude, I'm like, I have something for you, you know? And you persevere and you continue, like I continue and persevere. And then stuff started to come, and this, sometimes less, sometimes more, sometimes this. But the only thing that I can control is just what I do. I can't do anything else, you know? Exactly. So I wonder if for you, like, is it the struggle, or is it like, let's say, the uncertainty, what you're talking about right now, basically, right? Like you don't know. What do you do to counteract that? Yeah.
Well, as you said, like it's very easy for me to go into the passive mode, that I don't do action.
Yeah.
So for me, even if I think, okay, I don't want to do this, I actually hate writing emails, I don't want to do it, I don't know how to organize, blah, 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 blah. So I stay a bit in that mode, but then if I put the effort that I do an action, that already makes me feel 1,000 times better. So I think that step that I make to make an action already makes me feel super much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing what you just said, and I think that could, I mean, this is something that, you know, that feeling when you scroll TikTok for like,
I don't have TikTok, but
Instagram,
Instagram, yeah,
like 20 minutes, And then you're like, you turn it off and you're like, what did I just do? But then when you finish a book, it's like, wow, what a feeling, right?
Yes.
It's not working in your benefit to be on these things all day.
Yeah.
You know? And
definitely.
It's robbing of our dopamine reserves and all that stuff. And that's why a lot of people feel this. Actually, they don't feel that much. I mean, hey, I'm not a physician. Just some musician here with the microphone. We feel a lot of dopamine depletion. A lot of people feel that without even understanding that they're in that like dopamine depletion, you know. And because dopamine is really that thing of like being happy to pursue something, you know. I'm happy to send this email. I'm happy to meet these people. I'm happy to go into contact with these people, you know. And when it's depleted, it's like, oh my God, I have to send this thing. It's going to take me so much. And actually, if you think about it, you're very active with your anxiety, right?
Yeah.
So it's beautiful what you said. Like, if you take that action, you feel 1,000 times better. And it's like, that's what I feel that we need to reciprocate more with ourselves. This thing of like small steps towards that big goal that you want to achieve, you know? And it's all possible. It's really all possible. Like, first of all, thanks for telling that story. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people can really relate to that, you know? And it's like, what is the... do you feel that it's like a battle with yourself to get into these things, or is it just a natural, like, okay, let's just do it?
It's like, usually it doesn't take me, like, I don't go in a long hole, dark hole that I don't make and put any action. It's quite short before I realize, okay, wait, what's going on? Let's do it. So I kind of try to motivate myself, learn to motivate myself to do it.
Do you incorporate also exercise in your day, like a regular exercise, like physical?
Physical. I do yoga, not every day, but when I feel like. And that's pretty much it.
It's important because we have a sedentary lifestyle, like in the sense of we sit a lot.
Yeah.
And we're a lot with this and this. It's our bodies are designed to move.
Definitely.
I believe, you know, a lot of it gets stuck. It's interesting you say it about yoga also, because yoga is one of, you know, the physical art forms of releasing tension that is being held and, you know, being locked in the body in that sense.
Exactly. Yeah. I love it.
It's the best. It's the best ever. It's the best. If it's funny because I was during the pandemic, I started a course with my master because I have a master, and I wanted to do the 200 hours.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I did about 85. But I really just wanted to get a certificate and be able to go and teach. To be honest, not to teach, just to know a lot. Because when you really go into it, like the 8 limbs of yoga, it's incredible. Yeah. Like, wow, the amount of wisdom, and it's thousands of years, and it's almost like science of the mind, science of the body. Yeah. But then the orchestra came, and I was just you know, full on like 7th gear. But I highly recommend everybody, like, connection between breath and movement.
Yes. It's really great. Like, I feel like also I've been going now for some years. But also the way what you say, that I want to also do some, like, I want to understand, okay, what exactly this position does. Okay, why is this one good? So, yeah, maybe have to go into it a bit more deeper. But no, it's amazing, and I feel it also a connection to singing and to breath and singing. And I also, some exercises like with the breath I also incorporate when I teach. Like I like to combine it, like before you start singing, like you have already physically all the things that we have, little blocks.
I mean, so, that's your instrument. Yeah. That's so interesting. Like, you are the instrument.
Yeah.
So if that is not aligned, then probably it also affects the projection of the sound.
Yeah, you have tension somewhere, it will, I mean, I will feel it. People probably won't hear it, but I will know how that note has to sound or how free it can be.
Yeah.
On a good day, and that I have stretched and I feel nice.
Right.
So yeah, I like that connection. It helps me. Yeah.
What do you think about being confronted with yourself constantly? This is what we do constantly. We're being confronted with, I need to work on that. I need to do that. I need to improve that. I mean, Eran was just now here, and he was like actually looking at it from a different angle. He was saying, look at what you're really good, you're naturally good at, and hone that and perfect that and become a master in that. But my question is a bit more like, you are being confronted every single day, you know, I need to practice. Oh, this doesn't sound this. Oh, this.
Yeah.
How do you take that?
Yeah. I've been trying to have a practice routine and a goal in mind, like a weekly goal, and then looking also at like a bigger picture, month or 2 months. So then I don't try to even question what I'm doing. I just know that, okay, this week I do this, that's it. And then I try to also like work on the things that let's say they're the most urgent. And then I don't question the other things. Otherwise, it's a misery. And I feel like I've been questioning all my life this, and now in the last maybe year, like a friend of mine told me that she has this thing that she sets like a half a year goal, a month goal, a week goal.
She doesn't have kids, huh?
No. Yeah, so I'm privileged that I also can still do this month and a week goals.
I'm kidding.
But yeah, like, and then I feel like I don't go in a spiral of questioning if what I'm doing is right. And also, like, I always have the one, like, the biggest thing that I always am working on is technique. So that will always be the most repetitive things. Some other things don't come up so often.
Like the muscle memory.
Yeah. So that's something
Stay in shape,
that is spiraling in my head. Okay, now if I want to be able to sing this, now I have to go for it. So, but that's definitely in my weekly, monthly, monthly goals. So I don't question it too much.
Yeah. And what is your composition process? How do you?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Also now I approach it in a more playful way. I have like little games that I play, that I have like a starting point, and then I try to write something, and I don't put a pressure for me to go somewhere further with it. So I'm just every day I'm writing. There's a lady who's teaching songwriting, and she had this 30-day songwriting challenge. And then I take some ideas from there. Basically, for example, now you have only one chord quality allowed in the A section.
What do you mean with chord quality?
Like only major 7 chords.
Okay, only major 7 chords. You can have as many as what you want, but just major 7 chords.
And you just play major 7 chords.
Wow.
And then B section, other chord quality. And then only diminished chords. And then, like, I like this to have some limitation. Otherwise, again, I feel like, okay, what am I where to start from, what to do. So if I have a little limitation, it helps me. And then I don't also, right now, I don't question if it's nice and I like it. Most of the stuff I will throw in trash, but then some of the stuff I think, this is a nice idea. I will develop it later. So for now, I'm in the mode of like just little snippets to get the composition brain going, and at the same time, so I'm trying to practice like actually like, okay, that I'm doing it, that I'm composing every day, and then I'm also thinking about what I said. I don't know how much minutes passed. some time ago. I wanted to say at the beginning of the interview, but then I thought maybe
it's a podcast, huh?
Podcast. So yeah, at the beginning or in the middle. In the beginning. Ding, 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 ding. In the beginning.
This joke will never end.
No, it's the best.
It's the
I never
ultimate
can
meme.
believe that it was really so long.
It's like 15 years or something. Wow. What were we talking about? Composition. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then but then at the same time, I'm generating the thoughts that what the new program will be about. What's the meaning? What's the story? What the story will be about in the new program? So I'm also still not connecting the two. One is like the little games, musical games, and one is that I'm thinking, this character, this story will be maybe nice to do something about it. And then I hope that at one point they meet somehow.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's metaphor though. It's metaphor, but I think also it's interesting when you say. It just came up to me now the thought of when you say about your family and stuff. You know, the family tree. Everybody can relate to it. You know, and it's really the more actually, the closer you do it to yourself, the closer really you do it to yourself without, in my opinion, without limiting it into cultural concepts.
Yeah.
People will be able to really like connect to it directly, you know, because I mean, it's a cliche, you know, the best art is timeless, universal, it's not connected to, you know, that and that. So we arrived to that point in the podcast where I'm asking you, what has been the worst ever gig you can remember, where you wake up in the middle of the night, and cold sweat, you tell your boyfriend like, oh my God, are we back there?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I've had many crazy experiences, but it's never like the whole concert is terrible. It's just something happens.
It could be on stage, off stage, anything.
Yeah, wait, let me remember. Okay, so one of the worst experiences was last year. I was organizing a tour in Latvia with my quintet. And we had like nice 2 concerts booked, one in Riga, one in little bit further in a nice concert hall outside. And then I thought, okay, I want to find a third concert, but I was also really late with the booking, so you couldn't get some concert hall or something. So I thought, okay, where to go, to which city to go? Let's go to my city where I'm from. Because then, okay, my family can come, my friends can come. I show a little bit what I've been up to, because I haven't played there since I graduated elementary school, like 16, 14, something like that. So I thought, okay, nice, let's do it. And then a friend of mine, he was organizing these kind of background, like restaurant, little duo concerts. So the focus is still like people come, they eat, and they have nice music in the background.
I'm telling you to shut up because you're too loud.
And then basically, but they also did the concerts also outside, which I thought, okay, also nice, and it was in the summer. And then it didn't go as planned, because then we were playing the music, and it's kind of like there's the restaurant, it's in like an apartment building also. And then at one point I look upstairs, and there's like 2 neighbors, one looking at the concert like this, and one showing to me like this.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if this is international. Like, this is kind of like, or like this also.
Like you're crazy.
Yeah. Like you're crazy. and then I'm there like singing something very, very nice, and then I realize this person is showing me this, and then I'm showing him back tongue. and then this happens. I'm like, oh my God, this is not going well. And then police comes.
Police?
Yeah. Police comes. Whoa. Because the neighbors called police because whatever, it was too loud or too crazy. So police comes, but it was already towards the end of the concert, so it was not like you have to stop, like in the middle of the song. Like they went to the owners of the place and complained, and then and then they like it was also a problem with like the tickets, counting how many people came and everything. Anyway, like that was quite funny experience. Like not really tragic, but now I remember it as a funny thing. At that moment, I thought
that moment was tough.
It was a bit tough. Yeah, but then I've had like many like just small embarrassing things. Like now I had a concert. We needed to bring up microphones from downstairs to sing a song at the end on the second floor, and we forgot the microphones. And then it was in a church in the Orgelpark. And then without thinking, I'm like running to get the microphones. But then at the same time, the like guy who helps with everything around, he was already bringing the microphones up. And then I couldn't find a way to get back, and I was running around like because there's so many doors, and you arrive to all the different parts of the balcony, and not the one you need.
And you don't have a phone.
And then you don't have phone, and you have panic because you don't know how long is the song that you don't have to sing, and then you have to sing the next song. So that was like a little panic moment. At the end, I found my way, but yeah. So these little things that keep the blood flowing, like living on the edge.
Living on the edge, like not making it on time for a sound check.
Yeah.
Third world country.
Yes.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. So.
And what was the best experience that you can be like, wow, this is like, this is why I do what I do.
Yeah.
You know?
This I've had, I thought about it, this I've had, I think the most memorable experiences were when I had a concert with like a large ensemble, like a choir or orchestra, that you really feel like, okay, you're all in this together. Like very, like you feel the energy that you're sharing. Like once I sang with a choir in Latvia, and the choir was like 300 people, and you're all singing the same. Like I was singing kind of little solo part, but then also together with everybody. Like it's just something else when you feel like that layer of sound together.
Yeah.
The same frequency, the same energy. Yeah.
Wow.
Like that, like you feel goosebumps at those moments. Like those are the best moments, when you feel goosebumps in a performance. So something like that. And also when I felt it a few times when I am soloing, and I hear that people, the instrumentalists are listening to me, that I hear that they hear what I'm doing and they support me. And that's also a nice moment that I feel, okay, we're on the same path. We're on the same. Yeah, that also feels.
So basically like this feeling of community, basically, right? This feeling of like we are together in something and we are on the same line, and it's unspoken.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, now everybody's going to go this. It's more like to get like naturally happening to go towards a direction without the need of literally saying like
now you have to feel high.
Yeah, now you have to get goosebumps. Beep. It's gonna get there.
Exactly.
With Neuralink, Oh.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. There maybe one day there will be a thing.
What, Neuralink? And
what is
like
Neuralink?
chips in the brain? And like AI and all that. Oh, that's gonna be a thing for sure. That's gonna be like.
But then you can trigger goosebumps.
It's gonna be connected to your nervous system. It's gonna also be like, it's gonna be the difference between like everybody's making fire with two stones, trying to make fire, and then that thing is giving you a blowtorch. It's like it's gonna change everything. And then you're gonna be upgraded, but. Who knows? unless we're gonna get like a nuclear war before that, I don't know.
Let's see.
On a positive note, so what would be the if you had if you could go back in time and sit with Līva that it's just moving now to Amsterdam. She's 20, got off the plane, and you're going to go and meet her in the airport. What are the advices that you would give her with all the experience and all the time that you have here already? Things to work on, things to watch out for.
Yeah. To take in information that's been given to you, but to also stay true to yourself.
Don't sell out.
Try to don't follow maybe the things that are hip if you don't feel that it really resonates with you. So if there's something that's not really hip but resonates to you, dig into it and dive into it. And maybe it's okay that you have to compromise a little bit on other things that you feel are necessary to be worked on. I feel that I'm learning only now. So maybe if I would do it already back in the day, it would feel.
Instead of being like pushed into trends, if you feel something, if something actually reverberates with you, go for it.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like I did it in some way, but with not like a confidence and calm energy that I like this. I'll do this. So maybe that's like a sense of feeling calm that it's okay. Do it. Just do it, and it's gonna be fine.
It's gonna work for itself.
Yeah.
Awesome, amazing. And what is the advice you would give? I mean, you just graduated a year ago, but what is the advice you would give to students coming out of conservatory? And you did shows already in big places. You toured, all that stuff. What would be the advice you would give students that are the one to like start and make it in the business in this crazy jungle, that is changing?
I would say like the greatest musicians that I know and that I adore, that they are great musicians. So I would I think the main focus of a artist and a musician and any artist in any form should be like your craft and your art, and maybe then around that, like I would say like that's the most important. And then the next step is like if you are a great artist, but then you're living in a little cave, then maybe you won't find other people living in other caves. So maybe go check out what's in the other cave. So,
I like that.
So also like put yourself out there, even if it's not like a natural state. Like there are many people that feel comfortable practicing at home and not really going out every night and meeting other people. But if you want to play with other people, it's necessary to socialize.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think those are the most important things. And I think at one point, the things should start lock together. At least that's how it happened with me. Like I think that why people started to ask me to play in their bands, or why I started to have concerts with other projects, is because people heard me somewhere.
Absolutely.
That I sang somewhere. So I think maybe that's the most natural way.
To put yourself out there as much as possible, basically. To put yourself out there. And also, I think also the aspect of social media is quite important. In that sense. We talked about it, I remember in Latvia, the thing of like putting stuff out there as much as possible, working on that.
I mean, I think people can also there should be some way how to put yourself out there. Like if you are
only personal embarrassing stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. Like every day. Today I ate this and
my boyfriend and me broke up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
I'm
cringe.
sad. Please save me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Attention.
Yes. But yeah, like even I know some people that are not on social media, and I think that they manage to be in the circle also because they are going outside in the city.
Yeah.
So they are in the circle of the city. But then maybe people outside of the boundaries of Amsterdam or Netherlands, it's more difficult for them to reach out people that are not here. But then maybe it's the other way around, that people who are on Instagram, maybe you reach people that are outside, but then if you don't socialize in real life, then maybe nobody knows about you because you're only on Instagram.
Yeah. True.
So I think nice balance.
Balance, yeah.
Yeah, is necessary. The golden ratio.
The golden ratio, nice. What is it? 1/164?
I don't
something
know.
like this.
I don't know.
Fibonacci.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joao. So what's next? What's in the plans?
Yes, so we have. I think you had also interview today with Antonio.
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna. I mean, if you want to plug like
tomorrow
the Chai
event.
it's gonna come in like out in like 10 weeks. This
Yeah.
one, so.
Okay. No, then this is happening earlier than that. But
let's say more for like next year if you have stuff that you're thinking of, like.
Yeah, we are going on a little tour in Germany with this band Flatland Prayer that
Cool.
Antonio plays in, and River Adamite.
Nice.
It's a nice trio. So yeah, we're gonna have a little tour in Germany, and then like my project now is still in the brewing. So I hope that summer things happen, concerts happen then.
What is your project? What is the
my quintet?
quintet? Okay.
Yeah, and
what is the
there's
instrumentation? What is
guitar, Massimo Imperatore, flute, Katia Ringa Karahan, double bass Omer Govrin, and drummer Ilya Reiskin, who's now studying in New York. But we're gonna try to get him back for summer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I'm like that's what I'm focused on, like with my project. But then other stuff is happening with other projects. In the new year.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you, Līva, for doing this. Thank
you
you so much. Please follow Līva on all socials. You have all the links are going to be in the description of this episode. We're going to have a lot of content from this episode. How long are we talking now?
1 hour 15.
1 hour 15. You have won the day of the longest. It's nice.
Wow.
Woo. Now you have to do like this. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
It's a lot of that also, that's why. So I'm like,
Funny.
sad. No, so, thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for listening. It's been great. Thank you, Līva, also for doing this. And please follow Līva for all. Follow her socials. Check out her music. Check out everything that she does. Support independent artists and support good music, of course, as always. Thank you, and we will see you. Oh, wait. Thank you also, Joao, for producing this episode and that we are in the studio. It's every time. Thank you all, and we will see you at the gig.